Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, we're back in studio. We're back in Tampa and glad to be here. Thank God. Getting off the roads of I-95. A little quick trip up to South Carolina, drop off the kiddos, and we are back. And we're kid-free for a couple of weeks, which is which is fun. Yeah,
everyone knows kids are the worst. Everybody knows.
Love them, but
nobody says it.
Love them, but breaks are nice. No doubt about it. But so we're back and ripping ready to go here today with Timmy Ham from our Dallas affiliate. How are you, my friend?
Doing well, JP. We got hockey tonight, man. I'm pumped. I'm stoked.
Yeah, and we got to Erik Erlendsson coming on the show at 10:30 to talk a little ice hockey. I shared that Torts story yesterday. I'll do it again today. It's because yesterday's show was, we wanted to get the weekend stuff in there, get a couple of notes out there. So we, of course, get our great sponsors out there as well. But the hostage video hotel shot is not always the best one for
it was really bad.
It really was.
I saw that. I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah. Well, we've got it. We've got an obligation to our listeners.
Yeah.
And our so we want to get out there and give you a little bit of something. We always appreciate you guys. So I know you look forward to some chatter every morning at 10 o'clock and on the podcast. So we try to give you some content. Hopefully that was worth it. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. But the effort was there. That's all I can tell you. Well, we got lots more today for you. Erik's going to join us at 10:30. Not only to talk about the Stanley Cup final and Torts and that whole phenomenal story, but also the trade that was made yesterday for Jack Pridham, who was the partner in crime with Sam O'Reilly, our other top prospect for the Lightning. And they just won the Memorial Cup. And JBB is watching these two kids go at it with Jack Pridham and says, maybe we should unite these guys. Maybe Chicago, who's probably not going to be able to sign this kid because he's going to go to college next year, may want so let's see what we can get him for. And the third-round pick for a guy who's probably a first-round talent, that's a pretty good deal. So we'll talk to Erik Erlendsson about all things Bolts prospects and, of course, take a look at the Stanley Cup final coming up tonight. And we'll also talk a little Buccaneers as the OTAs continue today. They are back at work, and the media will be out there. Next week, I'm going to head out to OTAs, so we'll have the show at 1 o'clock on Tuesday next week. But today we'll just use our compatriots out there that are tweeting out stuff at Pewter Report, and we'll try to give you anything that's going on out there today. Bowles will speak again. Baker, by the way, has he's got a football camp on Friday, so he will probably speak to the media at some point this week. He has not spoken to the media since the Mike Evans debacle, whatever you want to call it. So there's a lot, and we kind of get a sense that that's unusual. It's unusual for Baker. He'd usually be out and doing a lot of different podcasts this time of year, but he has not been. So I'll be very interested to see what his mindset is as to the Buccaneers. Maybe he's pissed that he hasn't gotten an extension yet.
Yeah.
If I were him, I might be. So yeah. Are you hearing those little notification things?
It's me sharing the show. Yes. Sorry.
That's you. Okay. All right. I didn't know what that was, but it was,
I didn't hear it until the very last one.
A little off-putting.
JP's about to say something.
Your phone, it has a switch on it where you can turn the sounds off.
It doesn't work. No phone actually has an off switch. I mean, come on.
It kind of does. But I know technology's tough for you sometimes. So
okay, I'm the one that struggles with technology.
Gotcha. And of course, we'll be talking Rays. I want to get into. You've been following the super regionals and college baseball at all? I know A&M's still in it. Did A&M win last night? Are they still in?
You know what? I haven't looked. I went to bed early because I did JP Peterson prep.
Well, Florida got bounced in their own home regional, as did Florida State in their own regional. Florida lost twice to Troy to get bounced. So Troy is into the super regionals. FSU lost twice to St. John's. I mean, what the F is going on in college baseball? Are you kidding me? UCLA was eliminated. I think 4 of the top 10 seeds are eliminated.
Man, they were the best team in the country, too, I think. UCLA was the best team in the country. They were bad. Yeah, I saw them very early on. Remember, I went to a couple of the college baseball tournaments here at Globe Life Field early in the season to start the baseball season. And UCLA was here in one of those things. And, dude, they just dominated. They looked really good. Yeah, so no Miami, no USF, no FSU, no UCF, no Florida teams left. That's crazy. That is bananas. But it's just so much parity across college sports now with NIL. All teams can pay players, and see how it's a little different. See how it's a little bit different. So by the way, if I'm the SEC, you built your dominance on really paying players under the table for decades. And now that everybody's paying players, it's not so easy to dominate anymore. Huh. Interesting. Now you want to break away. It's a competition getting too hot for you in the SEC? What's going on over there? By the way, A&M lost to USC last night. Yeah. So they're out. Yeah. Interesting. But we'll talk some Rays baseball, and USF Stadium is man, that thing's going up quick. See, you can build stadiums in Tampa Bay. You can do it. We are able to do it. So JP, we're about to build another new one here in Dallas. Have you heard this? No way. No. Have you heard this? No. The Dallas Mavericks have just located land for their brand new arena that they will move into as in 2031 when their lease with the American Airlines Center in downtown Dallas expires. It's the site of an old mall here in Dallas that I went to every day as a kid. It's weird. They demolished the mall about 3 years ago, but it is it's up kind of by me. It's in far north Dallas. It's barely in the city of Dallas. It's not really, but it's considered Dallas. So they're still technically in Dallas. But they are divorcing the Dallas Stars as they have never gotten along in that arena since they've lived in it. Oh, that's right. That's a shared arena situation. Yeah. And the Stars for the last year and a half have already been talking about finding a location for their new arena in 2031. So JP, they're building their own arenas. Yeah. So and the Stars spot that they've picked, it's not official, but it's in Plano. It's kind of up by me, closer to the Star where everything is now. So it's very possible in 2031, JP, we have a new hockey arena, a new basketball arena, and then of course the Rangers and the Cowboys way out in Arlington. We will have no downtown no downtown sports arenas in the metro or stadiums in Dallas itself. Dallas will have lost all of its sports teams now. And why is that? The city just doesn't want to pay for it, or this city's ridiculous? They too congested. Well, for one thing, infrastructure. It's not the most convenient, and I'm here to tell you, I don't care if they're downtown. For aesthetics, I love downtown stadiums. Right. The chance of me going to a downtown arena or stadium are pretty slim based on where I live. Right. There's no easy way to get there. Traffic's ridiculous. Parking's ridiculous. There's no parking garage or anything down by the AAC. It's all street parking and, parking lots. Well, that's not good planning at all. No, not at all. Not at all. And when the AAC went in 2000, when it opened, there was nothing else down there where they built it. They demolished everything around it. Everything was parking. Well, now they've got all the, other stuff that they had planned on putting in, and there's no parking. And they didn't build a parking garage or anything. So, yeah, the city of Dallas now, there's a good chance here in about 4 years, we've got a separate brand new basketball and hockey arenas, plus the Rangers and the Cowboys way out in Arlington. Now, who's paying for all this? That's the question. It'll be a split public-private agreement. Just so like the city of Dallas won't be paying if they're not in the city of Dallas. So they'll be chipping in for the Mavericks arena because it's still technically in the city of Dallas. Okay. But it's not downtown. Right. It's more of a county thing. And then, the Stars are talking to Frisco and Plano trying to decide which city is going to give them the most money. And I will tell you this, Frisco and Plano are bidding against each other because they both want it. Yeah, of course they do. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Very, very interesting how the new stadium deals are all, and I'm guessing both of these will be building entertainment districts around them.
that is the key. That's
Yeah.
the key. That's what they're
Yeah.
talking about. This new Mavericks facility, again, it's on the site of an old mall.
Yeah.
So it's 104 acres, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is enough for their arena, their parking garages, and the key thing here is the entertainment district that they're talking about putting.
Exactly.
Yep.
See, and that's where, this particular Rays stadium. Oh my God, did we get there already? It's 12 minutes in. This is so interesting because obviously it's not downtown, but to find 120 acres that's close to downtown and still centrally located within your city is a godsend, especially when it's right next to a football stadium, which could make a metro complex, like many teams like Philadelphia has and other places, and you can build the entertainment district and everything. That's why this idea works so well, and it can be a precursor to light rail, which will ease congestion all over Tampa.
Right.
We're talking about traffic. So this is why it is such a great opportunity for Tampa, but we're not going to get into it. I do have to say this because I was listening this morning and this is going to be huge news. I know this is coming because I know the way this cycle works. So John Morgan's doing a Morgan and Morgan for the people is doing a book tour. So he was on 970 this morning with Ryan Gorman. And so he asked him about the obviously the stadium situation, and he blurted out the same bull crap that he blurted out on Fox 35. We love John, but his information is not very good. And it's you see, the problem is the Lightning and the Bucks want $1 billion. No, they don't. And the Lightning money's already it's already allocated, and the Bucks money's already allocated, and they all want it at the same time. You're wrong, 100% wrong. Of course, now I know Ryan was probably up against the break and didn't want to challenge him or didn't have the information to challenge him, but no challenges to any of his ridiculous claims. And Orlando having, no public money devoted to it. No 120 acres available for the Rays to build in the area that they want to build. I mean, they have nothing. They have nothing but the Orlando Dreamers. But of course, none of those facts mean anything to people. John Morgan did an interview and says the Rays Stadium won't work here. It's probably already headlines all over Twitter, and it's the most ridiculous thing ever. Everything he said was wrong. Everything. And he goes, yeah, my friend who owns it, my good friend, don't know his name. Still don't know his name. I mean, it's silly. I mean, it's silly, and everybody's getting, John Morgan says the Rays deal won't work here. So anyway, but just to debunk everything the dude said, he has no clue what's going on here, has no idea what's happening, just knows that it won't happen because he wants it over in Orlando, and it's never going to happen. So anyway, we didn't spend too long to debunk that, did we?
No, didn't take long at all.
All right, so let's get in on the Rays last night. They've now lost, 6 of 8, including 2 of 3 to the Angels and the Tigers, 2 of the worst teams in baseball. That's not good. And what's worse is the pitching now is gone south. Griffin Jacks, this experiment to make him a starter is not going well. It's not going well. And last night it was just location. Fat fastballs right down the middle of the plate, cement mixing curveballs or sliders or whatever the hell they were. They were the most hittable pitches you've ever seen in your life, and they did hit them. 5 home runs total for a team, I think, that was last in home runs in baseball. The Tigers have absolutely struggled to score any runs at any time, and they get 10 last night. And there's not only just the back-to-back Jacks, 3 in a row. 3 in a row, and Griffin Jacks is just like Maggiano's just serving up meatballs, one right after another, man. And they were just like, of course they're going to get hit out. These are major league hitters. Even though they're the Tigers, they're major league hitters.
Right.
It was just, really, really bad. And then the relievers that came in kept giving up. The Rays kept coming back time and time again. And Ryan Vilade hit an absolute bomb, 110 miles per hour off the bat, the highest exit velocity of his career 436 feet, hit the D ring. I think it might have been further. An absolute bomb. And they come back and they make it a 10-9 game. Can't get that last run across to get it to extras, but they did come back and score some runs. Caminero got his first home run in some 12 games, I believe. Another 440-foot shot to dead center. He's had a great month. Despite the fact that he's not getting a whole lot of good pitches to hit, he continues to produce. So the offense was there last night. You lose 10 you score 9 runs, you should win that game, especially against the freaking Tigers. My Lord.
They're miserable.
But the pitching is just really, it's gone south. And it's, what we were afraid of, the bullpen getting burnt out, that appears to be happening. The Griffin Jacks situation is not working out. He was supposed to be a high leverage reliever that turned to a starter, and he's got 5 pitches to do it. Theoretically this should work, but it's not working. Matz will go tonight, and he had a horrible outing his last time out. Hopefully he can find it. So they're scuffling a little bit, but this is kind of expected. They're going to regress to the mean. This is not a 36 and 20 or 22 and 4 ball club, which they had went on that run. That's not who they are. They're not that good offensively. The pitching is now becoming an issue because burning out their arms and the injuries that are happening, and the guys they're bringing up are just not ready or not producing. So it's going to be a bit of a slog until they can, get healthy. Manny Rodriguez hopefully is coming back. Uceda is hopefully coming back. Boyle coming back. We need to get some healthy arms back in this pitching rotation. I mean, it can't just be Shane McClanahan. Even Rasmussen has gotten nicked up a little bit lately. Yeah. And what did I see the numbers on Nick Martinez in May? Batting average was not great. Big O is going to be in here to talk about that at 11:30.
It's up like 100 points, right?
100 points. I did not know that. I think a batting average against was like 191 in April and in March and April, and then in May it was like 291. Yeah. So that's not good. Cy Martinez. So they've got some issues. What is it?
He's still Cy Martinez.
He's still my Cy Martinez
until he proves us otherwise. Yeah.
So I mean, those are not good trends. Those are not good numbers.
No.
So and last night Chandler Simpson got nicked up. He took a helmet to the face as he was sliding into second base and got a bloody lip and had to come out of the game.
Hockey players everywhere are laughing at him right now.
I know. And listen, I'm not there. My lip is not split. I'm not getting stitches. But in baseball, if that happens, you got to come out of the game. In hockey, you know. But anyway, and then Taylor Walls re-aggravates his hamstring. And one thing we know about this team is they can't win without Taylor Walls. They're 28-11 with him and 6-12 without him. I mean, that's a dramatic difference. So
AL MVP.
This is not, what we were hoping for. And we knew they weren't going to sustain 688 baseball, but they've now lost 10 of 12, 6 of 8, something like that.
Yeah.
That's not great baseball. And they've got 5 series in a row against last place teams, starting with the Angels, Tigers, then Red Sox, and they go out to the Angels and somebody else mixed up in between. So a lot of bad baseball teams on the schedule at this particular time. They've got to make some hay here. It's a great opportunity to win these series. And they won the Angels series, and that's fine. They still can win the Tiger series. Tigers used up a lot of their pitchers last night. The Rays did not certainly use up their A-list relievers last night, which is something I know people are like, hey, we're still in this game. I'm like, no, you're kind of not. You're kind of not. You cannot. You can't burn these guys out. You got to save them for winning situations. And, when they got close, they did bring Clevenger in. So I don't have a problem with how Cash managed the game last night. A lot of people on Twitter did, but I'm good with it. So listen,
they always do. He's never going to win on Twitter. Ever.
Of course. Griffin Jacks has got to be better. He just does. I mean, it begins and ends with your starting pitching last night. That was it. You get behind 7-0, 6-0. I mean, 99.9% of those games are over in baseball. You can't do that. So their starting pitching has really let them down recently, and that was obviously the hallmark of what was driving that 22-4 stretch. And now it's not. So you got to find other ways to win. And again, the offense was good enough last night, but the pitching was not, and that's tough. And speaking of pitching, so Tarek Skubal went out and pitched yesterday at the Trop, and he's coming back from an elbow injury. And the scuttlebutt is that Erik Neander will be making a push for said Tarek Skubal, who's obviously a dominant player. Now, Jim Bowden floated this on MLB Network, said he believes Erik Neander is willing to give up his top prospect, Theo Gillen, who is a superstar outfield prospect who's tearing up the minors, and two really good right-handed pitching prospects, Anderson Brito and Ty Nichols. So I put that on Twitter to the fan base, and to say the reaction was lukewarm would be an understatement. And I agree with them, because the chances are that this is a rental. I mean, what kind of contract is Skubal gonna demand? What are we talking? 35 a year?
Oh, at least, right?
40 million a year? Now, I'm not saying, listen, and if this form of the Major League Baseball offer for the new labor agreement goes through, which I don't know, we haven't talked a lot of the specifics about that. We'll do it with O later on in the show, but that they're talking about bringing the salary floor up to $170 million. That's significantly different than what the Rays have been spending, in case you didn't know. And by the way, this narrative that, they overspent for the team and building of they don't have any money left to pay the players. Again, silly stuff.
Come on.
If smart guys don't go into a business deal not knowing what the cost of doing business is. And by the way, this proposal also includes a combining of all the local and regional television money, and then that money being doled out to the teams. Now, given what the central fund is right now, if that were to take place, and it's going to be tough for the Yankees and the Dodgers and all these big market teams to kind of give up that huge advantage. But the owners are the ones that are putting this out there, right? So if they can pool that money, and frankly, I think it's the best way to go about it, because you make the most money, especially in this time of streaming. If you can negotiate with all the different platforms and do deals with everybody and have one central place where your games are produced, you don't have to worry about these regional sports networks anymore. Yep. You can maximize your asset there in regional and local television and spread it across all of baseball, which is basically what the NFL does. It's the NFL model, which, by the way, is pretty successful, Timmy, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty good.
What seems to work?
Pretty good. Seems to work.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. So if they did that, then that revenue sharing kicks up significantly, probably covering, because if you look at it, the television deals basically mirror what the salary cap is. What the teams get per year in the television deal in the NFL is about where the salary cap is. Yeah. So revenue sharing would be about equal to where the salary cap would be. So all that TV money would cover your player costs. Now, to make money, you go sell tickets and you do local sponsorships and you do all that other stuff, which you keep personally in your stadium. Oh, and by the way, it would be really smart to build an entertainment complex around your ballpark, because guess what? That's not revenue that goes into revenue sharing. That's revenue you keep.
Yeah.
Oh, seems like these guys know what they're doing. Maybe they didn't overpay. Maybe they didn't, maybe they thought about this ahead of time. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Seems to be working out. But anyway, yeah, so that would take care of your salary, and everybody would be pretty much on the same level. Can you imagine baseball with a level playing field? You can imagine Erik Neander working on the same playing field as Andrew Friedman of the Dodgers.
God, that's like that's I don't know that people understand what a game changer that would be. Like, for a lot of teams. And not that it would put the big, the Dodgers of the world, the Yankees of the world, the Cubs of the world, not that it would put them at a disadvantage, but because they're still, notable cities that, would you rather play in Milwaukee or would you rather play in LA? I mean, when it comes down to the cities and stuff, that they still have the advantage there. But just from how much money you're able to spend standpoint, you just couldn't have your, the old school unlimited open checkbook and writing these blank checks for these. You'd have to play on an even field.
Yeah.
And we're talking about now spreading the talent out a little bit, and having other teams in on the big name free agents.
Yeah,
they could
the
go.
other portion,
Freddie Freeman could go to Milwaukee or Atlanta, instead of LA or whatever.
Spread the talent around the league. What a concept.
Yeah.
Instead of all the talent being on a few rosters, you could, like, the Rays could have some major, major talents and be able to keep them, by the way. How about that idea?
For those of you about to call me out, yes, I know Freddie Freeman went from Atlanta to LA. I get it. I'm just saying they would be players in other names too.
Yeah. So this is the beauty of it. And personally, I see the players what they're offering. I'm like, what? I don't really get that, to be honest with you. It looks like we just want to make more money and this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Whereas the owner's plan seems to be a plan. And it seems to be a plan for long-term growth and long-term equality within the league. And, a lot of people say, well, the players union will say, well, look at all the teams that are in first place right now. They're all low-spending teams. Yes, right now. But what's happening to the Rays? They're getting injuries. They don't have depth because they can't afford the depth of the Dodgers and the Yankees and some of these other teams. And if they lose big players, they just go out at the deadline and buy up some more. And that's why, and when it comes to the playoffs, you haven't had a lower payroll team win a World Series since I think it's the Marlins in 2003 or whatever, whenever that was. Yeah. It's been a long time. It's been a really long time. And the problem's getting worse. That's the problem. The Dodgers, the higher spending teams, the gap is getting much bigger. It's just like our financial world. The elite are making more money, and the lower level, the gap is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, we want socialism in our sport. And to me, this proposal by the owners is where this needs to go. I much more side with them. And now the players are saying, well, we would lose $500 million in revenue to the players. I don't know where they get that math, quite frankly. When you're bringing all these other teams up to 170 and only a few teams have to come down to 245, I think it is. Mm-hmm. See, to me, the math is mathing on the owner's side. The math is not mathing on the player's side. So, what the owners have proposed to me looks like a real good recipe for equality and longevity and continuing the momentum that baseball has. And then you have other markets. What they don't understand is these other markets are underperforming because they don't have the stars. And that's what the NFL does so well, is that every market is, it's the number one show on television. Every market is interested because they think they can win. Whereas in baseball, 2/3 of your teams are out of it by the All-Star break, and nobody cares, and nobody goes to the games through the hot summer and into September. So if you keep everybody interested and they have, reasons to go to the park, like the players are spread out all over, then you're good to go. You're good to go. All right, let's take a quick break. We come back on the other side. Erik Erlendsson is ready to go. We're going to talk some hockey tonight as the Stanley Cup Finals get started tonight. And look who's right in the middle of it. John Tortorella. Who the hell had that on the bingo card? Not me. We got some great Torts stories coming your way. I can assure you of that. Erik Erlendsson waiting in the wings. And we're going to talk about these two young prospects, too. One of the trades that went down yesterday. Quick break. Back in 3. Stay with us. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales.
Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing done right.
As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch, and everything is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you can trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back with more do you want. The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa, our first hour sponsor, where I got my GV70, the car that everybody's talking about. Go see it at Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. They're making deals, folks, giving you a lot for your trade. Get on over there and check out that car. All the great Genesis products. All right, Let's talk a little ice hockey here with our good friend Erik Erlendsson of lightninginsider.com, the best website to follow your Tampa Bay Lightning, the best reporter to follow your Tampa Bay Lightning. What's up, Double E's? How are you, my friend?
Enjoying the offseason way too much. I'd rather be covering hockey.
Yeah. Are you taking trips? At least you're
not till next month.
Not till next month?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, get the heck out of it.
Again, my wife teaches, right? So she just finished school. So
yes. Now it's time for summer vacation. Yeah. Well, let's start with the Lightning first, and the move made yesterday, the trade with the Blackhawks to get Jack Pridham, who is Sam O'Reilly's running mate, and they just won the Memorial Cup. Tell me a little bit about this move, this combination. Seems very promising for the Lightning in the future.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to think about how Julian has kind of generated a little bit of a deeper prospect pool over the last year and a half or so for a franchise that hasn't had a first-round draft, but they've only had one first-round draft pick since 2017, and that was Isaac Howard, who turned into Sam O'Reilly. And bringing in and Pridham, who had made it clear he was not going to sign with the Blackhawks. He's a third-round pick of the Blackhawks 2 years ago. He would have been, if he did not sign a contract by yesterday, he would have gone back into the draft. But he's intending to go to college, and there's this new rule now where players who play junior can play NCAA hockey. Obviously, it wasn't allowed before because junior players get stipends and they get paid, which would have violated the NCAA rule. Well, that changed last year, and that's how we saw Gavin McKenna end up at Penn State. He's probably going to be the number one overall pick this year. And by going to college, Pridham, that extends the contract or the negotiating rights out until as long as he plays in college. So he's 20 years old. He's a little bit of a power forward, kind of the scouting report on him is he's a north-south kind of player. Did play a lot with O'Reilly, with Kitchener. I think they killed penalties together as well. They were on the power play together.
Wow, okay.
So he's I wouldn't necessarily call him an A+ prospect. He's probably more in the lines of a B- sort of a prospect, but you get a known commodity. And look, Julian's not going to give up a third-round draft pick if he doesn't have some assurances that at some point Pridham is going to come and sign with this team, especially if, given the what him and O'Reilly just accomplished together in capturing a Memorial Cup. So we'll see where he ends up going. He was supposed to go to I think BU last year. He had committed to go to Boston University and then changed his mind and opted to stay with Kitchener for another year. It doesn't sound like BU is going to be his destination. There's a lot of reports swirling yesterday. He's going to end up at the University of Denver, which powerhouse in college hockey. David Carl is sort of the hottest coach, not in the NHL. A lot of teams have tried to pursue him over the last couple of years. He's not interested in leaving the University of Denver because he's got such a great program there. And it sounds like Pridham is going to go, at least from the reports that I was seeing yesterday after the trade went down, is that he's going to end up at Denver. So we'll see. But, for a team, again, that didn't have a lot of prospects in the pool, now you've got an O'Reilly, you've still got a Connor Geekie, you've got Benjamin Rautainen, who they just signed, who led the Finnish league in scoring this past year. O'Reilly is there. This doesn't count the Dylan Dukes and bringing in Jacob Peltier and so if for a team without high draft picks, they've done a pretty good job of bringing in some younger players who can inject some youth, just as we saw Dominic James do this year.
Yeah, we're kind of the Rams of the NHL now. We have the picks, but then we still find prospects, which he's done a great job doing, and that's fantastic. You mentioned Rautainen, if I'm saying that correctly. I was reading your article on him. This guy, did he just tear up the Finnish Pro League? He's young. He's only 20.
20, yeah. Finnish Elite
Finland
League.
Just won the World Championships, right? So he wasn't on that team.
He wasn't on that team, no.
Right.
But he did lead. I think he finished with 77 points, which in that league, that's a high number. Yeah. And as a 20-year-old, I think the last 20-year-old to put up those kind of numbers was Saku Koivu. And I don't think people are comparing him to Saku Koivu, but it kind of shows you how hard it can be for younger players in that Finnish league to put up those kind of points. And he set up the game-winning goal in Game 7 of the championship round series in Finland. He had a great pass from behind the net to set up the eventual game winner as they won 2-1 in that series. Very intriguing. He was just signed, obviously, to his entry-level contract. Now, he's an interesting situation here with him is that he's still under contract for one more year with Tappara, which is his club in Finland. Right. But he will be in training camp in September. If he makes the team, he stays. If he does not make the team out of camp, he will go back to Finland to finish that final year of his contract. And then he would come over at the end of his season and finish up with Syracuse or Tampa Bay, whatever. So at the latest, we'll see Rautainen next year within the organization. So, but yeah, very intriguing. I had a chance to talk to JP Cote, who's their new player development director. They're very excited about the playmaking ability that he brings to the ice. And, I think he was an overager, right? Like they found a lot of guys over the years that are overagers, quote unquote, when they've drafted him. He was 19 when they drafted him last year. I'm not sure anybody saw the kind of breakout year that he had this year, but that just kind of shows you, their scouting system, man, it probably doesn't get enough credit. Especially over the past handful of years of finding these type of players and bringing them into the organization, and Rautainen is right there with them.
So prospect camp, we're going to have O'Reilly. All these guys will be a prospect camp, not necessarily training camp, but all of them will be at the prospect camp.
I'm pretty sure we'll see. You talking about the July one?
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll see
O'Reilly, Rautainen.
We'll see on Pridham. I would imagine Pridham will be here. College players, they got to pay their own way. So of course, with new rules, who knows if that's the case
they're making
anymore.
money. They're making money. Yeah.
It used to be that these college players would have to, quote unquote, invest in themselves before they could come. They wouldn't be able to take any money from the team to cover expenses or anything like that. But I would imagine you'll see him here for sure. Get him introduced to the organization, right? So you'll see O'Reilly. Rautainen was here last year. I don't see the reason why he wouldn't be here again this summer. So, pretty interesting couple of months here with the Lightning in terms of what they've been able to bring in for, some younger players along the way that you hope. I mean, Julian said it at the end of his postseason press conference that, these guys have a good decade of hockey to hopefully give us.
Buck in 2020, just you probably wrote this, but I'll put it up here. So only 4 players have won the OHL MVP, the playoff MVP, and the Memorial Cup MVP, and 3 of them are Bolts: Brad Richards, Corey Perry, Mitch Marner, and now Sam O'Reilly. So
I'll take that even one step further. It's not just OHL MVP; it's their league MVP. So whether it's the OHL, the WHL, or the Q, and only 4 players have won the MVP of their league, and then went on to win playoff MVP and Memorial Cup MVP, and Sam O'Reilly is the 4th to do it.
And Richards and Marner may win a Stanley Cup. Yep. And Corey Perry. Wow, interesting. Yeah. All right, speaking of, is there any other Bolts news we got to talk about?
I want to touch on O'Reilly real quick because I've got a nice 2,000-word story up on him. Like I said, I got a chance to talk to John Rosso, who's the developer or the head of amateur scouting for the Lightning, and get some of his thoughts on O'Reilly and the year he had. What a year this kid had. Yeah. Right. He was named captain of London at the beginning of the year, which is a pretty prestigious organization to be the captain of. Goes to Team Canada, helps Canada win a bronze medal at the World Juniors, gets traded 2 days later to Kitchener, which is the fierce rival of London in the OHL. I mean, those are big rivals, and then ends up going on to win league MVP. I think he led all playoff scorers with 19. I think he might have gotten the 20-goal mark, including the Memorial Cup. So he goes on to win the playoff MVP, to lead Kitchener to an OHL championship. They only lost 2 games in their run to an OHL championship, and then they went undefeated at the Memorial Cup. It's a banner year. I mean, there's not much more you can accomplish as a junior player than what Sam O'Reilly did this year. And he's such a hard worker. Like, the one thing that you hear about O'Reilly a lot and this is highlighted in my conversation with John Rosso, is the intangibles and the intelligence and the maturity of his game. Yes, he can score some goals. Yes, he can make some plays, but you need a guy to win a key defensive zone draw. O'Reilly's the guy that's been thrown out there. You need a guy to kill off a penalty late in the game. O'Reilly is the guy that's thrown out there. You need a power play situation. O'Reilly is the guy that's thrown out there. I mean, he just has this competitive knack that it tends to put players like O'Reilly over the top when it comes to talking about prospects. He has a lot of those intangibles to his game. So that's up on the website. It's been up there for a little over a week or so as I put that all together. So I hope people get a chance to read that one.
And all those intangibles I would not attribute to Isaac Howard, who we traded for O'Reilly.
Well, look, Howard had a pretty decent U.S. or a world championship for U.S., which did not put a very good roster together for that tournament, but he scored a few goals for them. Howard was among the AHL, rookie goal scoring leaders. He was up there. So I think this is end up going to be one of those deals that I think both teams will be eventually be happy. But obviously we're super excited to watch O'Reilly. We got a chance to watch him at the rookie camp last year, right before training camp, and he was a standout there. And he caught Joel Bouchard's eye pretty quickly, the Syracuse head coach who was running that camp, just for a lot of those intangibles that you can see right away in his game.
Love that. Those of you who don't know, Isaac Howard, that was the former Lightning #1 pick who was famously, what was the shenanigans he did? He's kind of a poser. Yeah.
Well, right? He had, I think he had Iceman inside the lining of his jacket and said he was the best dressed guy. He's got some arrogance to him, which
a little flamboyant
sometimes can be a good thing. Yeah.
I'd rather not. I'll take the Sam O'Reilly. I'll take the Sam O'Reilly any day. Thank you.
JP, does your shirtless Instagram pics apply to the NHL?
It probably does. Isaac Howard. Yes. I bet there's probably 14. It's a JTS quotient is there. Let's just put it that way. All right. So I got a good Torts story for you. So we're inducting him into the Tampa Bay Sports Club Hall of Fame tomorrow night. And I had been texting with him a few months ago, and he was very excited to come. We're hoping that he would, actually come and accept the award. And, this is coming off the gold medal. He was on the Team USA coaching staff. Obviously, they don't get a medal, but they get a ring. So we were really excited to have him come. And then this whole thing popped up where he gets hired by Las Vegas, 2 weeks before the end of the season, a week and a half, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's unprecedented. And then they 19-4-1 now under Torts. So obviously, he's busy. He won't be here at the show tomorrow night. So I was waiting for a little lull that I could text him to see if he would send us an acceptance speech and take time out of what's probably a pretty busy time of preparing for the Carolina Hurricanes. And he gets right back to me on text and says, all right, who do I need to thank and everything? And so I gave him some instructions and he sent it right back to me. And it was really, really good. Wow. We're going to play it tomorrow night. Yeah, really cool stuff. And this is the kind of guy that Torts is that people don't realize because his public persona is just such a hard ass. But he's, as you know, and I know from working with him, that's not who he is behind closed doors. He's a great dude and very giving and very humble. He just doesn't suffer fools. That's about it. It's my kind of guy.
He's like a character actor. He doesn't want people to know what he's like behind the scenes.
That's right.
That's fair.
That's very well said. That's very well said. And he stays in character the whole time. Never breaks character. So do you have it before we start talking about his impact here? Your favorite Torts story? You have any good ones?
Ooh, wow. There's a
lot
lot to sift through there.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, so my first year as the full-time beat writer for the Tribune was the 01-02 season. I'd been around a little bit towards the end of the 99-2000 season, just after Ludwig got fired, and Torts was still there, but he wasn't hired as a head coach yet. He was the interim, and he takes over. So I had a little bit of time with Torts between the end of the 99-2000 season and 2000-2001. But my first full year was at 01-02. The first home game was against the Florida Panthers. And they got their ass kicked. It's 5-1 or something like that, right? And Torts' whole thing is culture, right? We're changing the culture. Losing's not acceptable, all this stuff, right? And this is before cell phones were around. Probably good for Torts that no cameras were on him other than a couple that might have been down in the room. So I get downstairs, I'm still kind of young at this and my first pro beat, and I left my tape recorder upstairs.
Oh,
I'm like, no big deal. No problem. I can write it down. I'm pretty good on shorthand. And Torts just goes off. I don't know how many F-bombs he dropped in this particular post-game press conference. And I'm scrambling to try and write all this stuff down. I never forgot my tape recorder after that because of the whole culture thing. And this is not acceptable. That we're not going to be this. This is not the team we want.
I remember
to be.
that. Yeah.
So that was my first introduction to post-game John Tortorella. One of my other favorite stories is, there's every media crew has their own cast of characters, right? And there's always a couple of guys that are like a little off the beaten path.
Yeah.
So, and I won't name names on this, but he used to have a semi running joke that with the PR staff that when you walked into a post-game press conferences or even practice press conferences, you were either going to be handed a red card or a green card. A green card meant you could ask a question. A red card meant you could not ask a question. Obviously, that didn't happen, but it just kind of gives you the idea of what kind of a jokester he could kind of be a little bit.
Yeah.
But as they say, though, there's a truth in a joke.
Yes.
I think there was some truth in that joke.
Yeah. He is a special guy, and he's not for everybody, and probably not for a long time. His shelf life is maybe a few years at most. But what he's been able to do with Las Vegas, and just listening to the players talk about him following their win over Colorado was really interesting, and they give him a lot of credit for being able to motivate them, put them in the right position. I'm not sure what Bruce Cassidy was doing, but it certainly wasn't what the players wanted. And Torts has brought him a breath of fresh air, which is interesting to hear him described as a breath of fresh air.
I know, right?
Yeah. What are your thoughts?
It's a breath of stench air.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Look, obviously I haven't been around him as much in the last number of years since he left here, but you can tell as a coach, he's matured. His understanding of what it takes to coach the game with modern day athletes, right? The Mike Keenans of the world are not going to survive anymore. It's just not going to happen. I mean, Mike Babcock is the perfect example of that. Because Torts was that way. It was a my way or the highway. Now, like one of the greatest things he ever did was make this deal with Dan Boyle back in the day when they acquired Dan Boyle. Dan Boyle's strengths were obviously in the offensive zone, and he allowed him to say, look, you compete your tail off in the defensive zone. You can do whatever you need to do in the offensive zone to be the player that you are. I don't want to take that away from you, but you have to compete here. Mm-hmm. Right. So he had those type of relationships with some players, but there were other players like, look, Vinny got rubbed the wrong way.
Yep.
Right. He asked for a trade. It didn't happen. And one of the funniest stories is listening to Vinny after he went to Russia during the lockout year, saying he couldn't wait to get back to John Tortorella because it was structure and the understanding and the predictability of what you do. You might not like it, right? It might rub you the wrong way a little bit, but Torts made a lot of those players better. But you can't have that same approach nowadays. I think what's the one comment he's made here with Vegas that he's more of a guidance counselor now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And for him, he thought his lasting moment and probably his last moment was going to be when he charged the locker room in Vancouver against Colorado. Right. He was trying to go after, I think it was Bob Hartley at the time. He thought that was it. He didn't think he would get another job in the NHL ever again. And here he is now on his fourth team since then, or at least his third, right? He was in Columbus, Philadelphia, so he's kind of regenerated himself or, reinvented himself in a lot of ways to understand. Like the one thing I remember in particular with Torts was the series against Columbus in 2019. At that time, Alex Texier was a 19-year-old coming into the league, and he was getting some pretty heavy minutes. And I remember asking him, 5-7 years ago, you never would have had a young player take on this type of a role. He said, I think the players today come in with more of an understanding, more of a maturity to themselves, and are more willing to listen as long as I listen to them. Mm-hmm. So that kind of told me then and there, again, that was his first job since, the Vancouver incident. Mm-hmm. So he's learned to be a better coach in terms of having that relationship with his players, right? And he had those moments here, but they were fewer and far further between. Now he just has a better understanding of it all. And I think that's what's allowed him to step into a situation, which, look, that could not have been easy. The expectations in Vegas are always high. You had a veteran team to kind of step in and step step aside, right? Guide him, give him a path. Do this. This is what we want you to do. Block shots. Vegas has blocked a lot of shots in this playoffs. If you don't block shots, you do not play for John Tortorella. Those type of things. But he's allowed them to be the players that they are to help them make successful. And I think that's been the big change with Torts from his early days as a head coach to who he is now.
All right, so fast forward to this series, Carolina and Vegas. Not sure many people predicted this before the playoffs. But Carolina has been playing great hockey. How they dismantled Montreal was impressive. Really, really impressive. And then the way Vegas has been playing, Colorado obviously had the injuries to McCarr and McKinnon, so maybe a little less. I don't know. You can look at it any way you want. Bottom line is they're here. And I think it's a really interesting matchup. I don't know who's favored in the betting. I would probably say Carolina. Yeah. But I would not underestimate this Vegas team under Torts and how he can motivate them.
Yeah, agreed. It's interesting that Carolina's the betting favorite, but Pierre LeBrun from TSN and The Athletic did a coaches and executives poll. He got 51 to respond. 29 picked Vegas, 29 and 22 picked Carolina. So it was interesting to see the difference there.
Yeah.
Look, I think Carolina is going to win this series. I think that if Carolina is ever going to win it, it has to be this year. Right? They didn't have to face a Florida. They didn't have to face a Tampa Bay. Look, they got to face, Ottawa, which Ottawa was probably the toughest series they've had to date, even though they swept that series.
Yeah.
That was a tough series for them. It was low scoring, tight throughout. And look, Philly was a surprise team to even make the playoffs, let alone get past the Penguins. And then Montreal, Montreal's been sitting on a horseshoe. They were sitting on a horseshoe in those first two series against Tampa Bay and Buffalo to even get there and accelerated their process a little bit. So they haven't been tested, but I think that's to Carolina's advantage because one of the things that's sort of been the criticism of Carolina and why they haven't been able to even get to the Stanley Cup final under Rod Brind'Amour is that with the style that they play, the system that they play, which is so up-tempo. It's so in-your-face, constant movement, constant motion. Don't give the other team time and space to make a play. Is hard to play consistently at a high level.
Yeah.
And they've been worn down as the playoffs went on. Well, what are they, 12-1? They play 13 games.
Yeah.
Through three rounds.
That's a great point. Yeah.
I mean, they don't have that can't be the thing now. Right. And I think the addition of Nikolai Ehlers has been a big thing for them. They've been chasing that sort of difference maker. Right. That's why they went after Jake Gensel a couple years ago. That's why they tried to bring in Mikko Rantanen and get him to stick around last year. They convinced Ehlers to come around and he scored a couple of really big goals for them, which is another thing that they've been lacking through the years is that because we know, just as we saw in the first round against Montreal, it's not usually your top stars that make the difference. And the biggest difference for Carolina in this run has been that Stankov and Taylor Hall line, right? They've been really, really good and they've scored a lot of key goals, but you've had that game breaker that can make a difference in a game. And Ehlers has done that a couple of times. And I just think the way that Carolina plays is so unique in this league. I think you're going to start to see a little more teams try this approach, especially if Carolina wins, because it's a copycat league. it's not necessarily fun to watch. It's not necessarily a fun team to watch, but they are high pressure, in your face, force you into making turnovers because they force you to make quick decisions. Like, that's why, some of the top players can struggle against Carolina. That's why, that top line against the Canadians had no time and space to make play, just like they really didn't against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They did their damage on the power play in game one for the most part in that series. So I still think Carolina is going to win this. I think Tortorella's way that he's approached this team in Vegas, obviously they've gotten this far. It can make a difference for them, but I think ultimately Carolina is the better team here. And I think that this, if you want to say this is their year, I think this is Carolina's year.
We shall see. It all begins tonight. Double E's. I know this would be a really long answer, but while I got here, it's been 2 weeks, 3 weeks, how long it's been since the light, maybe
too long. Too
long. Do you expect anything significant in this offseason in terms of a trade, an addition? And I mean, we can define significant a lot of different ways, but I'll just leave it at that. Do you expect something significant to happen?
Well, the free agent market isn't very deep, right? I mean, the two biggest names right now that are going to hit the free agent market are Darren Radish, who obviously here, and Alex Tuck. After you get past that, there's not a lot of guys out there that are like difference makers, right? Potential difference makers. So I don't see them making a splash in free agency. They've still got a lot of guys under contract, right? It's just Bjorkstrand, Perry, and Radish are really the big UFAs coming off the books. Declan Carlisle could be a Group 6 unrestricted free agent. So they're not losing a lot of guys, with their contracts going away. So if they're going to make any sort of a splash, it's going to be the trade market. And I think you listen to coaches, GMs around the league and what some of the insiders at the national level continue to say is that teams are going to be very active in the trade market. The draft is only 3 weeks away. It's 3 weeks from Friday. So I think you'll see a lot of moves. So I think if the Lightning are going to do something, it is going to be that. And there's been some quiet whispers behind the scenes that, there could be, again, depending on what your definition of significant is, that there could be a trade or two. Because look, you have these young players. At some point, they need roster spots, right? This is a reason why, like Chicago, like Dominic James didn't want to sign there because they've got so many prospects that the path to get to the NHL is clogged.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And that's why it's a big reason why Pridham didn't want to stay there, right? Because he saw the path to the NHL clogged. So at some point you have to find a way to maybe open up some spots, and we'll see. I'm not saying this year, but by next year you could see 2 or 3 of these guys, making an impact on this team as they go down, but they have to have available spots. So that's why I think if the Lightning are going to do something this off season, it will be via the trade route. And it could be, a guy or two that maybe has won a Stanley Cup with them.
And chances of keeping Radish?
I just don't see the Lightning being able to pay the type of money to Radish that he could get on the open market. And I think Darren owes it to himself to test the free agent waters.
Yeah, of course.
And I think when that happens, the odds of him coming back are not very good.
Yeah.
So unless he's willing to take a quote unquote home team discount, it's hard to see him coming back. But I've been wrong in these situations before.
Yeah. All right, Double E's, tell everybody how they can get your great website, newsletter, all that good stuff.
Yeah, lightninginsider.com is the website. It's look, we've been up there for 9 years now. It's amazing to think it's been 9 years that the website's been up there. But 2 ways to sign up. There's a yearly plan, $49.99, a monthly plan at $5.99. You can also simply sign up for the newsletter, which will give you some updates, especially during the season, about practice times and all that stuff, even if you just want to sign up for the newsletter. But, look, you want to read that 2,000-word story on Sam O'Reilly. You want to get a little bit of a taste of some of the prospects, the stuff that I wrote yesterday about the addition of Pridham and what Rautanainen means, and Connor Geekie and all these other players. That's up there as well. So and the draft is coming up, so it's a little bit of a lull right now, but it's going to heat back up, and before you know it, September is going to be here.
Great stuff, Double E's. Appreciate you, my man. We'll talk soon.
Be well, boys.
See you, man.
Erik Erlendsson right there. Some great Torts stories, and Looking forward to the final tonight as we get going tonight. We got hockey.
What are your thoughts on the final, JP? Real quick, in a minute or less.
I'm horribly biased for Vegas, and I just think everything Erik said about Carolina is spot on, but it also sets them up for a little bit of Torts magic. You mentioned the Columbus 2019 team that he just motivated to beat the Lightning and swept them. It was quintessential Torts work.
Yep.
And I think he can. This team is so confident right now. They're playing hard, and as Erik said, they haven't been tested, which means they're rested and they can still bring it. But also, when they get smacked in the mouth, what's going to happen? This is going to be a little bit of a different thing. Well, They may just steamroll Vegas, but I have a feeling I'm with the 29 GMs and executives that think that Vegas has a little bit of magic here for them. So
yeah, and Vegas in the first 3 rounds they dealt with a lot of speed, right? And I don't think they're really built to deal with speed. And look how they played against them. Now they're going up against a more physical team than they played before, and I think that's more what they're built for. So to me, I'm not going to use the word cakewalk. I've got Vegas in 5. I think is my pick if I had to pick, and a lot of that's because of Torts, because of what he's getting out of this team, and plus I really hate Carolina. But I mean, speaking as a fan and a journalist,
Yes, I'm with you. All right, we'll take a break. Come back when to get to your comments. We got Buccaneers stuff to get to as well. The Myles Garrett trade. How does it affect the Bucs? I think significantly in a lot of different ways. Hey, we're brought to you by the great folks at Riveters. Riveters will be your place to watch all the World Cup action. They get a great soccer crowd over there. So we know how you guys like to show up and sing songs and do all that cool stuff. Well, Riveters is the place to go for all your World Cup action. They have all kinds of special things going on there. Of course, with the Rays games, they have a happy hour during every Rays games where you get $6 Tito's, $6 margaritas, $6 Jack. And, of course, all the great food. I was over there the other day, and their wings are just to die for. To die for. Love them. Wings, baseball, Rays, and Riveters. It's where you got to get it. Riveters.com, just north of 275, just south of the stadium right there in Dale Mabry. Back in 3.
Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream. fanstreamsports.com.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here, brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance, 813-877-7799. They do all the work. You save all the money. Make sure you have your business insurance, your flood insurance, and even for your auto and home, they will shop it around so you don't have to. Imagine how hard it is to shop it around right now. Like calling all these voicemail, AI, non-humans. No, thank you. Had a little bit of that yesterday with the bank. No, I just can't stand it. You get a human to answer the phone at Italiano Insurance, and then they will shop it all around for you and save you money. That's what they do. 813-877-7799.
Steph, you have an Italiano question for you.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, they're in the state of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The JP Peterson Show has listeners in pretty much all 50 states of this America.
Is it? Is that true?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. You should see I'll show you the demographics of your show one day when they say where all the downloads come from.
Wow.
Cool. Syria, Australia, Iran, or Iran, if you want
Very
to say
big with the blokes in Australia.
Ireland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, yeah. Absolutely.
Bolivia. You're all over the place. But what about here in America? Can the folks at Italiano help people out of state?
Yes, they can.
Kinds of insurance. Yeah.
Yes, they can. They can absolutely do that because they are part of a more national insurance company now. Well, so, yes, they can. 813-877-7799. They can help you out. Wherever state you are in, let them shop it around for you. They'll save you money, which is probably a pretty big deal these days.
It is.
All right, so the boys are out at work at OTAs today. I haven't seen any breaking news or anything as far as what's happening out there. But
Buck Irving's head hasn't fallen off, and we're going to be okay at running back, you think, eventually?
Some Pewter reports saying, look, some little Tyke Smith in motion there. Antoine Whitfield Jr. is not participating today. He stands on the sideline. Buck's O-line going through some early OTA drills. Really excited to get those offensive linemen back together. Still no Christian Roseboom or Al-Qadin Mohammed. Not participating today, according to the Pewter Report. Eric Rivers and Dennis Houston. I have no idea who they are. Safety Miles Killebrew, who they brought in from the The Steelers, special teams guy, safety J.J. Roberts, and defensive tackle Devontae Capehart are not practicing.
Is it possible that Roseboom is being kept out of OTAs because the Bucs are in fact working on a trade with Los Angeles for Myles Garrett?
No, no chance in hell.
Probably not having it.
By the way, so the Myles Garrett deal, how does that affect the Buccaneers? Well, it affects them because the Rams are really good and they play in the NFC. And I just can't imagine them being a heavier favorite, but they are now a heavier favorite. So I think this was a really good trade for both teams. I mean, the Browns get a younger player in Jared Verse, who they can grow with. I'm not sure Jared Verse is very happy about it.
Have you seen those memes floating around on social media?
Yeah.
The minute Jared Verse was informed he got traded to Cleveland.
Brutal. But Cleveland gets a great pass rusher. Obviously not Myles Garrett, but pretty damn good. Someone they can grow with.
It's cheaper.
Much cheaper price, obviously. And they get a first round pick, a second. What was the total compensation?
Did we get all of it yet? I didn't know that we got all of the compensation yet.
Yeah. Rams surrendered their 24 first rounder, Jared Verse, a 27 first round pick, a 2028 second round pick, and a 2029 third round pick.
Okay. Doesn't seem like a lot. See, I'm not with you. I think that doesn't seem like a lot for Myles Garrett.
4 players?
Well, look where you're.
2 first rounders, a second rounder. Yeah, now this 2027 first round pick is probably going to be, number 28, 29, 30, or 31. But
they're probably winning the Super Bowl this year. Yeah. So it's going to be
high second round pick.
But it's basically a second round pick. Yeah,
a high second round pick. Listen, I think it's a good. I think that's good value for the Browns, who are in a constant rebuild mode, and you need lots of draft picks. So, and then now obviously they have 2, and maybe they can package those 2 up to go get the quarterback that they want in the loaded 27 draft. I said this the other day. If I was a GM, I would not chase a drafted quarterback for a lot of different reasons, because I think there's too many good quarterbacks that get drafted, go to shitty teams, and then are actually really good players and prospects that you could go train yourself. I mean, you just look at Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, and I think there's going to be more and more of these that will surface as the years go on. Daniel Jones, although he hasn't done much yet. So I think, there's those guys, and what you're getting. You have some tape on them. Where these, you don't know how good Arch Manning is going to be. You just don't. I can't tell how many can't miss quarterbacks have come along. Look at Trevor Lawrence. I mean, maybe he's finally turned a corner, but we'll see. We need more than one season under Liam Cohen. We'll see. But I would spend all my draft capital on interior offensive and defensive linemen and then go find other pieces at other times. But what the Rams are doing is basically F the picks. We want players that we know can play, and we'll give up picks to get guys that we know can play. We're not interested in taking chances on college players. I get it. And that's kind of the way they've done it. It's kind of the way the Lightning are doing it. So I think this is a good deal for both. But what it does to the Bucs is, how are you going to beat the Rams? And we got them in week 17. They may have the division wrapped up by then, hopefully. I don't think we will have the division wrapped up by then. But I don't know. That winning, that'll be probably a game that the Bucs desperately need to get into the playoffs. And here comes this loaded freaking Rams team. So how does it affect them? I would much rather play Myles Garrett with the Cleveland Browns in week 2 as my home opener than I would week 17 when I'm trying to get into the playoffs with a Los Angeles Rams team.
So I don't know if this is good news or bad news for the Bucs, JP, but obviously you said week 17, they're in Tampa Bay. Their week 18 game, you said now maybe they'll have the division wrapped up. The week before the Bucs, actually here, let's go back 2 weeks. The 2 weeks before the Bucs, they host the Cowboys, so a big NFC matchup, hopefully, playoff implications. The week before the Bucs, they are in Seattle. who they'll be competing not just for the division, but probably for a Super Bowl spot eventually.
Right. Yeah.
And then you have then they travel to the Bucks. Then they host the Seahawks.
Yeah,
in week 18.
So we're sandwiched in between two Seahawks games.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
But the part that might not be good for the Bucks is I don't think they're going to have the division wrapped up, and I think they're going to need that Bucks game.
Yeah,
which might not be good for the Bucks.
Yeah, most likely. But again, beating the Rams is the game that we're probably going to really, really need, and that just got a lot harder.
And it's at home too. I like that it's at home. Yeah. Well, the Cowboys have them in week 15, coming off of their week 14 bye, and it's kind of the same discussion. The Cowboys thankfully will have 2 full weeks to prepare for Myles Garrett and the rest of the team coming off their bye. But, the NFC, I already thought it was going to go through LA in the playoffs this year. But, now there's still questions, though. Look, Myles Garrett is a force. There's no question he's the best defensive player in the league right now. He is going to a new team, and he is learning new things. We don't know how he's going to react to that. I think that he's going to have to do less things in LA than he had to do in Cleveland. He had to drop back into pass coverage quite a bit in Cleveland. He's not going to do that in LA.
Yeah, definitely.
He's going to be focused on the quarterback, you would think, for the most part in that defense. So, look, we think it's going to be really good. We think he's going to be a massive force to deal with. But we still don't know. But, we'll see.
And again, a lot of Bucs fans, why did we trade for Myles Garrett? Number one, we didn't have Jared Verse. Yeah. Didn't have Jared Verse.
Yeah, we're getting that in Dallas too. Everybody's cussing Jerry out. I'm like, what were you going to give LA to get him?
Yeah.
And the Cowboys tried. The Cowboys were in on this. And they had nothing to offer other than draft picks. And they wanted an impact player right now up in Cleveland.
And I'll just be honest with you, the Bucs aren't going to pay that. I think he has a huge bonus coming due, and these are things that you can always fit under the salary cap. But to me, the Buccaneers are in a mode that they're not spending big money and pushing stuff down the road. That's not where they are right now. And it seems like the Rams are constantly in that place where they're trying to win now, which I would prefer, quite frankly. I would like the Bucs to be in all win mode, but they're clearly not right now. Not to say that they're going to have a bad football team, but they're just not spending like the Rams are spending.
Right.
And
look, the Rams have proven they don't give a crap about their draft picks.
And they've proven it works.
They went 7 years after Jared Goff. They took him in the first round. They went 7 years without a first-round draft pick. Yeah. Because they traded him all away. Yeah. And you know what? They won a freaking Super Bowl. They went and got
Matt Stafford. Really good players back when they trade their first-round pick. They needed a corner.
Yes.
To cover Jackson Smith and Jigba. So they traded their first-round pick and got one. They can play. I mean, I have no problem with that. I think, do I think Jason hoards his picks a little bit too much? Yeah, I do. I think, but that may be under direction because that makes your team cheaper.
Yeah.
So that you pay less money for a rookie. Drafting players that start for you is great if you're winning.
Right.
If you're drafting players and they start and everybody says, "Oh, every draft pick they have is a starter or has played, they're still on the roster." Well, that's great if you're 14-3 every year. When you're 9-8 every year, 8-9, 10-7, is it that great? You got a lot of average starters. Congratulations. There's a lot of different ways to look at it, and those guys are cheaper.
Well, and when you think about it, a team like the Rams with older veterans who are clearly in a win now, they've been in a win now mode for the last 10 years.
Right.
A draft pick won't win you a championship.
No.
An impact player, on the other hand, when was the last time a rookie on a Super Bowl team contributed to a Super Bowl win?
A major impact. I mean, I'm sure that it happens.
I'm sure it's happened, right? But it's probably few and far between.
It's rare.
So, and you know what? The other thing of this is I'm not sure that model that the Rams have been successfully carrying out for 10 years, I'm not sure that that you can replicate that on any team. I just don't think that any team can do that.
Well, having a fantastic coaching staff and one of the elite coaches in the game certainly helps.
Yes.
Certainly helps.
Yeah, but again, you can, if you really want, the NFL is a very soft cap, and it keeps going up each and every year. So that helps you, go out and you go out and buy first round picks. It's working for them. That's all I know.
And then on the other side of this, JP, we have from the fastest developing trade in NFL history with Myles Garrett to LA.
Right.
We have the slowest developing trade in NFL history with AJ Brown to the Patriots.
Yeah.
I don't get this move at all. I don't get it.
They send a 2028 first round pick and a 2027 fifth rounder in exchange for Brown pending a physical. And this was about money. I don't know why. Clearly he wasn't happy in Philadelphia. I think that's the thing that is the most that drove this trade the most, clearly. And I think it's a big step for the Patriots. I think it helps them tremendously.
So
with their young quarterback and AJ Brown, I think it does. But
now read me the compensation again, because I know they got a first round pick, but
2028 first round pick and a 2027 fifth round pick.
So here's to me why this is important. Number one, I don't think AJ Brown necessarily himself is toxic, right? He's not an Antonio Brown character.
No, hell no.
However, we clearly know that the locker room in Philadelphia is toxic, and I think we know what player is causing it. AJ Brown was not necessarily the guy that downplays all of that, because he liked to talk a lot, and he might have contributed to the toxicity just a little bit.
Yeah.
So him clearly a change was needed, right, for Philly and for him. I get it. But what this tells me by them getting, I don't know if Howie Roseman asked for the 2028 or if that's what the Patriots offered, if they didn't want to give up the 2027. But I think in my football brain, I think Howie Roseman said, you know what, let's get that 2028, because I think there's more changes coming in that locker room. And I think it's going to be centered around Jalen Hurts being shipped out somewhere. And so they're going to be in a more, not even a rebuild mode, but a reset mode in 2028. And I think he wanted that first round draft pick in 2028 when maybe they've got a new quarterback coming in, or maybe to pick a quarterback.
Or they could use it in the 27 draft to move up and get a quarterback they want.
Boom. Yeah. Or if
this
happens
still
sooner.
Ammunition.
Right. If it happens sooner. I just think this tells Jalen Hurts' days are numbered in Philly.
When I see trades like this, what I want to look at is how does it affect us this year? Because and once again, it's a week-to-week, year-to-year league. How does this affect? Does this make the Patriots, who are just in the Super Bowl, put them over the top? I think it does. I don't know if it makes them a much better team. That's something that they were lacking. Now I think you can get receivers like that in the draft much cheaper these days, but be that as it may, they have a lot of cap room, and it's a fit that they needed. And I think it helps Drake May, and I think it makes them more explosive. So I think the Patriots are a much better team with him. Draft competition be damned. And I think the Rams are a much better team there. And I think both of those teams are better than the Bucs, and they just got better. Yeah. So I think this is where the Buck fans really kind of bristle, is like, man, how come our GM doesn't go out and make trades like this? Well, because it usually accelerates bonuses, which means big cash payments, which I don't know if these owners are in that mode right now. I'm talking about the Glazers. And also, that's just not the way they do business. And he likes those draft picks. Uh-oh. Got a sneeze coming.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I just don't know that A.J. Brown, for me, moves the needle much. And I know they needed some help at wide receiver, and I think he will help them. I'm anxious to see what kind of chemistry he can develop with Drake May, if any. Yeah. He's not always been historically the best guy for his quarterback. He didn't do Ryan Tannehill any favors in Tennessee. So, I mean, I don't have hatred for A.J. Brown. I didn't like him as an Eagle, but we'll see. We'll just see what it means. Is Drake May going to have the fall off? I mean, there's potential there too for him, for that team to not be as good as it was last year. So
with the tougher schedule, etc. Nathan Elliott says AJ Brown is never happy.
It's probably true.
Yeah.
Is anybody though?
No. I don't know how you can't be happy. You play football for a living and make millions and millions of dollars. Michael LaRue says one thing about the great Emeka Ibuka catch that we saw in
OTAs is that it was done over the middle into the great wide open.
Yeah.
He makes a good point. Whenever you put out video like that highlights one of your players making a play, it's going up against your defense. And he was wide out. There was no one within 15 yards. that's
Todd Bowles' defense, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Don't care if it was OTAs.
Yeah. Buck in 2020 says the team that had 39 wins and fired their coach a few weeks before the season is in the finals. Incredible stuff. Absolutely. Let's go to the top of the comments list here. I don't mean to skip by you guys today. Wesley Wright was in early and says, "Hey, JP, I love your show. You seem so confident the vote on the stadium is going to pass next week. Given all we know, can you tell us why, or is there something you know that we don't?" There's always something I know that you don't, Wesley. Most of it is because all the negativity that's out there, it's all become clickbait at this time. I mean, it's clear that every publication, the Tampa Bay Business Journal, the local TV stations have caught on to this now. It's certainly the Tampa Bay. Every time you do a story on the Rays stadium, it gets mega clicks. Yeah. It is absolute click gold. And if you do something with a negative headline, it gets even more. And so this has become the biggest clickbait story of all time. And every time it's a story about, like I told you, I will predict this John Morgan interview on 970 this morning where he talked complete gibberish and was completely inaccurate on all of it and wasn't challenged by the host at all, maybe because of time constraints. I don't know. But it's complete. It's wackery. It's wackery. It's ridiculousness. Nothing he said in there was true. Nothing should carry any weight, but it'll be a huge story. And that's where we're at. And I think that's why people get so negative on it. The bottom line is, here are the facts. Here are the facts. The MOU has been agreed upon in both chambers, the House and the city, or the House, the county and the city. The county is by a vast majority where most of the money is coming from. It's a solid 5-2 vote. That tells me they're going to get it done. The city money is $180 million, and what they're really talking about is the $80 million sits that has some of these negative. Guido Maniscalco's vote is all tied up in whether we can use the sits money. Charlie Miranda is a complete waste of time. I'm so ridiculously. I love Charlie, but what he's doing right now is just it's criminal. And then the other two are playing politics, which really pisses me off. Which is Carlson and Hertak, who want to show themselves as sticking up for the quote taxpayer because they have no shot at beating Buckhorn, or if Bob Enriquez gets in, which he told us he probably is on this show. We're breaking all the political news on this show. I don't know why we're doing that, but we are. So you got two playing politics with it, which is to me completely reprehensible. You should be judging this based on the merits of what it can do for your city. And I don't think they are. That's just my opinion.
Right.
And then, so I do think Maniscalco can be flipped, and I think that's where we'll get this done, and maybe even somebody else. We'll see how it comes down. It's too good of a deal to be at this point to be thrown away. There's too many people behind it, too much political will behind it. So that's why I'm confident. I don't want to do too much on it, but that's why I'm confident. Don't listen to all the negativity is what I'm trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Alejandro says, "Good morning, JP and Petermans. While we did lose to the worst place Tigers, we have to realize it's only one game. As long as we win the series, that's all that matters, and we hopefully will win tonight." By the way, Alejandro killed it with the tarps off on Friday night. Killed it.
Nice.
Absolutely killed it. Well done, my friend. And the whole scene was absolutely fantastic. Christopher Cole says, you win the Super Bowl in the offseason. Oh, yeah? Yes, you can.
A little bit. Yeah,
yes,
it helps.
You can. Let's get back on track like we did this weekend, says Alejandro, beating the Angels. I was there for Todd off. Yes, you were. Let's get back on track and get this, especially against Jack Flaherty, who was pitching tonight. Yep. Kurt Thorson says, Zalupski at the Rays game last night. Get him, Babby, and City Council in a room and massage out an agreement. Massage out an agreement. Yeah, let's get the massage involved. Save us, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're the only hope. Again, guys, don't be so negative. Don't be so negative. I think we're in good shape. What else we got here?
A lot of negativity out there.
I know. Danny Boy says, good morning, gentlemen. Tim, I'm sure you heard the new news in Dallas last night. The Mavs will be moving to North Dallas. Yes, we outlined that in the beginning of the show.
Absolutely.
Aviation says the NFL is making the Rams the golden child of the league. 7 primetime games this year. Lakers, Dodgers treatment. Yeah, welcome to the world of big money sports. Timmy, I am fashioning a fan's financial revolt, some type of movement that we have to get going here.
All right.
For money and the elites take all of our sports away. I'm very serious about that. We've got to push back. We've got to do something because it's just, everything now is being built for the elites. And by the way, let's play this, the USF video. You want to play that or?
Yeah, good. You ready?
And I'm not trying to, this is not, USF is not the place to start this conversation, but check out the new digs for USF. This is the artist rendering of the new stadium and all the premium areas that they're bringing in all their big shots to buy the tickets to these high priced premium errors. And I've talked to some of the USF alumni that have been, approached by this, and even the really rich ones are like, man, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So check as we look in. I think is this where the longest bar in Florida is? Yeah, longest continuous bar. I think that's it right there. It stretches like from goal line to goal line. I mean,
good Lord.
That's my kind of bar there, Timmy.
That's my kind of bar, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you got the premium area up top there, then your row of suites, then another row of club, I think right down here. So these are suites right here, obviously. You'll see a lot of these characters are the same in a lot of different places. So there's your suites right here, and then you got some more club seats. There's that guy right there. You'll see him again. He's all over the stadium, same dude. Is this another club level? Jeez, oh Pete's, man. It's just like this is what I'm talking about. This is what they did at Florida State. They're taking out seats, and this is a 30 what is this? 41,000, 30 some thousand seats. And a vast majority of it is premium seating. And which is great. If you have a lot of rich people that are your donors, I don't know if USF has enough to fill all this premium seating, but that's where everything is going. See, we got more clubs down belau,
building
more
for the
premium
future.
seating.
Yeah, look at this down here, man.
Yep,
look at that.
More premium seating down here. And they have the whole one section is the student side. Another great club or premium seating. Wow. It's like, see, now these aren't $50 tickets, folks. These are, thousands of dollars, not per game, but in investments. Yeah. And it was ready to, the club, the team's going to come out through this club. This looks fantastic. This looks just amazing.
Yeah, they have that same get up at AT&T Stadium for the Cowboys. Yeah, they walk through the bar.
They trailblazed that.
Yeah.
It's this new for $340 million. They're building this stadium. This thing looks freaking unbelievable,
dude. I can't wait to see a game there.
So yeah, and for them to make this happen and do it, but and this is what Florida State did last year. What's why they're in so much debt. And I went to that club for the Miami game, and it was. Thank you, Jeff Italiano. It's incredible. It puts you right on top of the action, and you're not stuck in a seat. It's fantastic. But it's expensive as hell. Yeah. It's a lot of money. And they've priced out a lot of the people, the ham and eggers in Tallahassee in Doak Campbell Stadium. And again, I'm not attacking any one of these universities. This is where these are guys, this is Rob Higgins and Michael Alford being out front of where everything's going. You have to, and if you want to just entrench and say, we're not going to do this, you're going to be left behind. Everybody else is doing this. And these two universities are kind of leading the way. So I don't want to I'm not picking on them. I'm just picking as a whole, how much premium seating can we fill? And then not only that, but at the cost of what? The regular ham and egger. They're not going to be $20 tickets or $30, $40, $50, even $50 tickets anymore. everything you go to has got to be $250. That's not sustainable. It's not sustainable for these leagues.
No, not for South Florida.
Yeah, that's the thing about USF is it's great you're building your new stadium and all this premium seating, but do you have that many people who care that much? I mean, I've literally talked to some of their biggest boosters, and they're like, man, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Now, that may be where the pricing is starting.
Yeah.
And when they understand that there's just not that much enough in USF that, you're not even a P4 program yet. Again, I don't want it to sound, and I know that's where you want to be and that's where you expect to be, and I think they will be, and they're just staying ahead of the curve, but it's a lot. It's a lot. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We're going to talk some baseball with the Big O, and we got a Big O show coming up here a little bit later on. So lots to get to about the Rays that we haven't talked about, and I think a lot of us are like, ooh, where is this going? Where is this going? Is this a June swoon? Big O says no June swoon. So I want to find out why. And we'll take some more of your comments as well. Quick break here. We're brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing. The summer is coming. Get that maintenance special. $169 gets you 2 visits. They will come out, clean out your drain line, and make sure your unit is in tip-top condition for the summer, which you got to have. American Standard Heating and Cooling is their partner. If you need a new unit, that's what they're going to put in. American Standard Heating and Cooling, the best in the business, the most durable, the most efficient. And Third Generation Plumbing, they also do AC. We'll put it in for you. ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com. Back in 3. Hey, JP here for Genesis of Tampa and the Murphy Auto Group. I think the best way to experience a business is to use that business. And I just did at Genesis of Tampa. Just bought a GV70, a 2023, and it feels and drives all new. It's an absolutely fantastic car. The technology, the comfort, and the price, absolutely outstanding. Frankly, I never thought I could get into a car like this, but they made me a deal I could not refuse. And I also get the VIP service where you can just drive right up, their pit stop service. They'll top off all the fluids, make sure your air in your tires is good, new wipers if you want them. If you need extended service, they will come to you, bring you a courtesy car, and then bring your car back. What more do you want? The experience was just VIP all the way. And you can get that at Genesis of Tampa. And don't forget, you can get extended warranty, which I did. So I have worry-free miles up to 100,000, and all they do is just take it in. Actually, I don't have to take it in. They come to me. It's perfect. It's Genesis of Tampa right there, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. As the Rays enjoy being back in their Tropicana Field home this season that was ravaged by Hurricane Milton, Italiano Insurance wants to remind us all how important it is to be properly insured. 40% of you are underinsured. That can mean financial disaster. Let the experienced and friendly agents at Italiano shop your policies for the best price and the right coverage. Italiano saved me over $1,000 on our auto insurance last year, over $500 on our homeowners insurance. They can do the same for you. That's a grand slam. Might as well get a double play by adding flood insurance and business insurance to your portfolio. Cost less than you think, and trust me, you do not want to risk your home or personal wealth. That's a whiff. So step up to the plate and call 813-877-7799 and chat with our all-star agents at Italiano Insurance, or call our Boca Grande office at 941-964-0400. It's Diamond Days at the Golden Diamond Source. Celebrate April's birthstone, which is diamonds, as they take center stage. Up to 20% off the diamond jewelry throughout the month of April. And don't forget, you can trade in your broken or old jewelry towards something new and beautiful. Gold prices are at a record high. Now is the best time. And by the way, they only sell natural diamonds at the Golden Diamond Source. It's real love. It should be real natural diamonds. Don't start your relationship with a fake diamond. Really, really bad idea. And for the Golden Diamond Source first-time buyers, they are going to teach you all about the 4 C's and all the different shapes and styles. They are able to show you a huge selection of inventory to choose from. And by the way, you can trust them. They've been in business for over 40 years. Don't buy something online. You have no idea what you're getting. 0% financing for up to 5 years. Make sure it's a Golden Diamond Source diamond. 3800 Ulmerton Road. Always online at goldendiamond.com.
Hey guys, you already know that Riveters is the best sports bar in all of Tampa Bay, but now it gets even better for Rays baseball season. During all Rays games, check this out, $6 Tito's, $6 Jack, $6 margaritas, all during Rays games. Are you kidding me? And that's always a great pour from the great bartenders at Riveters. Great service, great food, everything is fresh, nothing is frozen. And let me tell you, if you want baseball and wings, you will not find any better than Riveters. Their sauces, like the blue cheese and the ranch and everything, is handmade, and the wings are big and they're perfect. Wings, baseball, Rays, Riveters. It all comes together during baseball season. Once again, in addition to all the great food and service, you get $6 Tito's, $6 Jacks, $6 margaritas. It's time to celebrate. Baseball season is back, and celebrate at Riveters. You know where it is, right there on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of the stadium. See you there at Riveters. Pitch Roofing believes giving back is part of doing business the right way. That's why they proudly offer exclusive discounts to those who gave the most to our communities, including veterans, first responders, seniors, and teachers. And for listeners of the JP Peterson Show, there's even more good news. Pitch Roofing is now offering a special discount just for fans of the show. With so many roofing companies coming and going in Florida, it's important to choose a contractor you can count on long after the job is done, especially when it comes to honoring your warranty. Pitch Roofing is built for the long haul with a reputation for quality, transparency, and standing behind their work. Whether it's a repair or a full replacement, their team delivers honest guidance, quality workmanship, and no high-pressure sales. Call 727-67-PITCH, 727-677-4824, or visit pitchroofing.com to schedule a free estimate.
Pitch roofing, roofing done right. Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Father's Day is coming up. Finding the perfect Father's Day gift is easy at the Gold and Diamond Source. They got a great men's selection there. Hey, go get him one of those pre-owned Rolex watches. He'll love that. They have the largest inventory of all kinds of diamonds and gifts for your man there in their extended men's section. 0% financing, jewelry to fit every budget. And by the way, if you're looking for diamonds, they only sell natural diamonds at the Gold and Diamond Source. They have a first-time buyer program there as well, and they will take your trades. Bring in your old gold, your old diamonds, any of your old jewelry, and they will give you top dollar because they're paying top dollar for gold and silver right now. It's never been higher. So bring it on in to the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Olmerton Road, and tell them JP sent you. All right, Timmy, you want to go back to comments? Big O's running a little bit late.
Yeah.
He'll be here in just a little bit.
I saw that.
Jeff Stutler says, rumor is Scooball to Cubs. They need a starter and have a few players Tigers want and need, like Shaw and Alcantara and pitcher Dominic Reed. Okay. I'm not for the Scooball to the Rays trade. I think
I'm not a fan of that, I don't think.
Even though I like that we should be spending more money, obviously we've talked about that. I don't like these huge 35, 40, $50 million contracts, $70 million contracts. I don't think that's something that works out long-term. Michael LaRue says the Lightning needing a stronger prospect pool, and they still do. When your core players are locked into 6+ year deals with no trade or no move clauses, there is a risk of complacency. Internal competition matters. That is a great, great point. An excellent point. So, because you got to motivate these guys. 4 first-round losses, something's got to change.
Hey, you want to see before Big O sits down and takes over, you want to see a picture of what our Mavericks' new arena, what their rendering looks like with their entertainment?
Oh, we love renderings here in Tampa, Timmy. You know that.
I know.
If nothing else, we are the rendering king of the world.
Rendering king of the world. Here we go, right here. Hotel and casino. And you can't gamble in Texas. Can't gamble in Texas yet. Because you know who the owners are, right, of the Mavericks, who bought them from Mark Cuban?
Who's that?
Miriam Adelson, who is owner of the Las Vegas Sands Corporation.
Oh.
Their whole intent was to buy, when they bought the Mavericks, was to build a massive hotel, casino, arena, entertainment district.
Look at that.
Yeah. So,
yeah, we still haven't heard from the Hard Rock people. But
right?
maybe they will be the naming sponsor. They already got one stadium, though.
Yeah, they got one stadium already
in Florida.
I mean, American Airlines has the American Airlines Center in Dallas and the American Airlines Arena in Miami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that was odd. They were the big winners in the 2011 NBA Finals when you had the Mavs and the Heat, when they were both American Airlines arenas.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, that would be interesting. We could put a casino next to the Rays Stadium. See, they can only do that on tribal land, though.
Right.
So that wouldn't work. But with the state and it being state land, I don't know. Who knows? I got to believe that the Hard Rock's going to be involved in
somehow, right?
Some type of club, or maybe are they currently a sponsor? I don't think they are. They're not currently a sponsor of the Rays.
They're not a sponsor of the JP Peterson Show yet either.
No, I'm working on that. All right, let's bring in to Big O. Maybe he has answers to these.
He's always got answers,
questions. What's up, my friend? You brought the baseball too.
Thank you.
What's up, brother?
I'm good. I'm great.
Your weekend wasn't as good as mine.
Your weekend, you were up north.
My weekend was spent on I-95.
Yeah.
Not a favorite.
No, not a favorite. You were up north. You were up in the Carolinas.
Yeah.
Beautiful country up
there.
Yeah.
But the Rays are bothering me.
The Rays are yes. I'm gonna tell you something right now.
June swoon is in play.
Nah, listen, last week we were talking and I brought up Aaron Rodgers and the infamous RELAX. So we do have to relax, It did. I think they ended up. If I'm not
mistaken, I can't relax when I'm getting whiplash watching Griffin Jacks give up meatball home run back to the Tigers.
To the freaking Tigers, who only won, I believe, 4 games last month.
Not the Shinju Tigers. Is that what they're called?
Junichi.
Yeah.
Junichi.
That big brown Cuban.
If you have a little Chinichi, just scratch it. Don't worry about it.
I hope you don't have a little Chinichi. Check out your drain line.
Well, it depends which gender you're going with.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
That's
very true.
Here
we go again.
There's also a team called
Big O shows up, and the show goes right in the double entendre toilet.
There's also a team called the Yakult Swallows.
Come on,
so you make,
your Swallows playing your
Chinichis. Yeah, correct. So go figure that one.
Yeah.
The Japan League, the MPP is exciting. Here's the way I look at life and my baseball. Okay. Basically, overall, I am optimistic.
You are.
I am overly, most of the time, optimistic. Regularly realistic.
Yeah.
And rarely pessimistic. So when you take that kind of, thought pattern into our 2026 Rays of Our Lives season, I would say that, when you look at the breakdowns, which is pitching, offense and defense, and bullpen, right now, pitching, I'm optimistic, but I'm also realistic. The optimism is that, listen, Rasmussen is on point. Sugar Shane is really kind of on point right now. Fastball, changeup is outstanding. He looks comfortable. You almost feel like you can unleash him a little bit more. They're not going to, right? But you could see him go 7 and give up 1 run.
32 innings pitched in May, averaging 7.88 Ks per 9.
Yeah.
1.41 ERA
Correct.
in Major League Baseball.
Yeah. So
it's unbelievable.
I don't say he's turned the corner, because you turn the corner when you're out there and you're unleashed and you're pitching 7 innings, 8 innings, maybe a complete game. That's probably not going to happen this year because they're just not going to let him go that far.
Right.
Maybe just, chips all in October or something. But for the regular season, but very optimistic about him.
You mean if he's like going in the 6th inning, pitching the game of his life in the World Series?
Why do you have to always bring up 2020, man? Unbelievable. Look at I'm on laughing in there.
PTSD, bro.
It is a little bit of PTSD.
It triggered me.
Yeah, a little.
It triggered me.
Little Blake Snell. But that's positive. Not only positive, but I'm like optimistic with that moving forward. Rasmussen, had a little bit of a hiccup, but positive. The realism falls under Cy Young, Cy Martinez. And that's a little disconcerting, kept the league under 200 in the first month. All of a sudden gave up a lot of hits, really 34 hits in the second month. So is he going to be leveling off into what he really is, which is kind of a 500 pitcher?
Mm-hmm.
And if that's the case,
we're in trouble.
Only because we're not in trouble. That's okay to have a number 3 guy in this day and age. That's a 500-ish guy, little under 4 ERA on a whole. Right now,
that's fine.
He's at 1.61. Things are good, right? It's 3 and 4. It's 4 and 5 that have me a little disconcerting. Jack's still not sold completely on the transformation.
Not sold completely.
Well, because he had
after last night.
Hey, listen, he had 2 other starts where he went 5 innings and 5 innings. If you take away the one where he got hit in the back, and he's still kind of probably mending from that a little bit. Maybe he was a little bit off. And
of course, you got hit by a 107-mile-an-hour comeback.
That kind of gives you a little fear factor with Jax is that everybody knows. I mean, I was a hitter, man. I see what he's got. He's got nasty stuff. There's no doubt the stuff is there. But when you break down and you go into runners in scoring position, no runners on, his batting average gains is like 200.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it jumps to 300, 333 with a man on third, 1,000 with the bases loaded. Only 3 times.
Right.
But we're talking.
His high leverage pitching has always been his worst.
Pitching seems to be a problem.
Yeah,
and
that's up here.
That's up here. So because when you have this stuff, I mean, you could go check.
That can be fixed.
You can go check Chet Holmgren on that one. You know what I mean? We just came out of a series where you didn't shoot in the second half.
Yeah.
I mean, go try to figure that out. So that's here because you're going to tell me Chet doesn't have the talent. We've seen what kind of pitches he has. So if Jax can fix that, that's important because then you have Steven Matz, who, again, I'm more realistic than pessimistic. I'm just realistic and going, you got a 500 guy here.
Yeah.
So then you go into the offense and defense. We're good. We still have athletes. Guys are hitting up the middle. That's not going to change. That's going to continue. The injuries too, can play a factor. And then you got the bullpen. You really have 4 guys that have been consistent. You got 2 lefties and 2 righties: Kelly, Baker, Ian, and Clevenger. Those are my go-to guys.
The rest of them,
yo no sé.
As
they say in Spanish. Yo no sé. You like that one? Yo no sé. I don't know.
And how you say it in English is F you.
Yeah. Doctor.
Yeah. F you. Doctor. Who doesn't like getting oiled up? Come on now.
That's the old what was it? Coming to America, right?
Yeah.
But
so all right, so
that's a report card.
We was always going to regress to the mean.
Pessimistic,
but
it's realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got it. Here's the thing: when you look at their schedule too, we'll talk about this on the Big O show, but the schedule's very favorable right now.
5 straight series against last place teams.
Yeah, very
time
favorable.
to make some hay.
You've got 5 out of your next 8 series are against sub 500 teams, which you've been dominating. Deservedly so, rightfully so. If you're going to be a frontline team, you have to dominate those sub 500 teams. You go into July with KC again, and a Houston team that can't pitch for shit. Got a few thumpers, but they can't pitch. So another, couple of sub 500 series before what? You run into the Yankees,
that's right.
July 6th. So that's why I look at this June as being the precursor for setting yourself up for that second half of the season, because then I'm not going to say you're going to go on cruise control, but if you can extend your lead and take advantage of this, the schedule's favorable for you.
Yeah. All right, we'll do all that in the JP show. A couple other quick comments here. I'm sorry, the Big O show coming up here around 12. We might get started a little early.
Yeah, we can start a little early.
So
just stick around.
Stay tuned for that.
We'll be right there.
JS813 Pooh Shiesty. He's renamed himself Pooh Shiesty.
He did.
Pooh Shiesty. Remember we talked about that one
Pooh Shiesty
last week? Yeah.
He said, DeSantis, Manfred, Castor, and Hagan all want this done. Still need to go all gas, no brakes, but the stadium has support. Yeah. Like, which side would you rather be on right now? Would you rather be on the side of Wostall, Hurtak, Miranda?
Yeah.
Or, you know,
have mercy on your soul.
yeah. Would you rather be on that side, the J.C. Bradburys of the world? Who else? The shadow of this. Look at the negative people. John Morgan out there just spewing stuff. That's the negative side. Or would you rather be on the side of Hagan, Castor, Manfred, our ownership group,
Sure.
Ron DeSantis, the governor? I mean, which side? Fred Ridley, Mike Murphy, Patrick Zalupski, Ken Babby, Bill Cosgrove, Dan Doyle,
right?
So many of these all-star.
The Passion of Palermo.
The Petermans.
The Petermans.
JP Peterson.
Yeah.
Or you want to be on the TBT. Which side? Pick a side. Which side you want to?
I want to be on the.
I want to be on whoever wins.
One,
you bastard.
One's going to have a luxury box. The other one's.
See, if this thing doesn't go through, I'm going to say, yeah, I never thought this was going to work. It was terrible.
Yeah, I don't know what these guys. I don't know what JP was talking about. Idiot.
Man. Like, how could that possibly work?
I knew they were going to Orlando the whole time.
I called it.
What's his name?
I just retire at that
Go
point.
Dreamers. Go Dreamers.
Go Dreamer. Holy shit. Be careful what we say on the air, guys. We're throwing it out there to the cosmos. I believe greatly about that.
That's true.
We're gonna keep them here. We're gonna keep them here.
And Bear Pig said, JP, your pre-recorded show where you look like a hostage crisis is going on.
was that Sunday night?
Was way better than 620.
Yeah. That's a good ending right there. Because it started funny, the hostage show. You're like in a hotel somewhere in
poorly lit
in Dothan, Alabama.
Oh, I gotta go. I gotta go now.
I gotta go.
So knock at the door. I gotta go. Thanks for watching. See you.
Hey,
we go get in the closet.
Hey, you got to purr the mouth.
Thomas Casper.
You got to purr the mouth.
Thomas Casper said, "Hold on, I got to go take a Wostall." All right. All right. All right. That'll do it for this.
This is how I walked in. It's not my fault, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's be done with this. All right. Thank you guys so much. Erik Erlendsson joined us. Big thanks to him for joining us. All the commentators. Thank you guys as well. Appreciate you. Big O show coming up here in a matter of minutes right here on the same network. We'll talk lots of Rays baseball, Major League Baseball, all kinds of fun stuff. And go Bolts tonight. Not Bolts. Go Torts tonight.
Torts.
Former Bolt coach.
Golden Knights.
Go Rays tonight. Who's pitching tonight? Well, we'll get into that in the Big O show. And we will see you tomorrow.
Even Matt.
That's right. That's versus Clarity.